on the warm-up problem, it's 4 minus 1, which is 3, and you keep everything else the same, and then do 2 times 3, which is 6. Multiplication comes before addition, and then you add them up in order from left to right. 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. You have to do 5 minus 2 first because it's in parentheses, and that's 3. Keep everything else the same. And now multiplication comes before addition, so you have to do 4 times 3 to get 12. And then add them up in order left to right. 3 and 12 is 15, plus 4 is 19. What do I do first in this problem? Yeah, we do 7 minus 4, which is 3. So put a 3 there and leave everything else the same. What do I do next? Do I do 5 plus 6? 6 times 3, yes. 6 times 3 is what? 18. And then what do I do next? 5 plus 18 is 23, and then take away 3 to get 20. Now Murray had this right, so I'll ask you to. What do I do first in this problem? 3 plus 1, which is what? 4. So we'll write 4 there and keep everything else where it's at. What do I do next? Four times 4 is right. What's 4 times 4? 16. Now what do I do next? 16 plus what? Yeah, 16 plus 2, which is 18. And then if I take away 2, I'm right back to 16. Alright, for this one it should be 4 minus 3 first, which is 1. And then 7 times 1 is 7. 6 plus 7 is 13, minus 4 is 9. Lottery number. All you have to do is pick a number from 1 to 5 and drop it off here on the table with your last name on it. The winning number is 3. Today's objective is to multiply decimals, and after we finish that, we'll go to adding and subtracting fractions. Here's example 1, and this is from yesterday. If I have 7.25 times 1.6, what is the first thing that I do on this problem? 6 times 5, and what is that? 30. And what do I write? Yeah, I write a 0, and where does the 3 go? Over the 2. Alright, what do I do next? 6 times 2, which is 12, and then what? Plus 3 is what? 15, and what do I write? Yeah, 5 at the bottom and a 1 over the 7. So what do I do next? 6 times 7 is what? 42. And then what? Yeah, plus the 1 is 43. What do I do next? Put a 0 down, and then what? 1 times 5 is 5, then what? 1 times 2 is 2, and then what? 1 times 7 is 7. What do I do next? Add them up. So this is 0. This is 10, but what do I write? And then I put a 1 up here by the 3. So 2 plus 3 plus 1 is what? 6. 4 plus 7? 11. How many numbers are to the right of a decimal point? 3. So I start here and then go 1, 2, 3. Make a dot. So that answer comes out to be 11.6. Practice number 1. On the practice problem, 9 times 5 is 45. Put the 4 here. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 4 is 19. Put the 1 here. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 1 is 31. Put a 0 there. And now 2 times 9 is 18. And put a 1 here. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And then 2 times 12, or 2 times 6, is 12. So add them up to get 5, 17, and carry the 1 to here. So instead of 8, it's 9. And then this will be 5, and just drop your 1. You have 3 numbers to the right of a decimal point, so go over 3 places. 5.97, or actually 15.975. Bonus number 1. On the bonus problem, what should I do first? 2 plus 1, which is 3. So write 3 in place of 2 plus 1 and keep everything else the same. What should I do next? 3 to the second power. What is 3 to the second power? 9. Yeah, 3 to the second power is 9. So write that and keep everything else the same. What should I do next? What? Yeah, 9 times 3 is what? 27, yeah. And then once you get to that point, just add left to right. 2 plus 27 plus 3 is 32. Bonus number 2. On bonus number 2, what should I do first? 5 minus 3. And that's 2. So write that in place of 5 minus 3. Keep everything else the same. What do I do next? Not 4 times 2. 2 to the second power, yes. What is 2 to the second power? Two times itself. 4, yes. And keep everything else the same. What do I do next? 4 times 4, and that's what? 16. And then add everything up from left to right to get 23. On this practice problem, you have to do 6 times 4 to get 24, and put the 2 up here. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. Put the 1 up there. And 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. Now, it should be 5 times 4 is 20, and there's already a 2 there, so we'll just circle it. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. And then there's already a 1 there. So 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. Add everything up. That's 4. 4. 11, and carry the 1. That would give me 8, and then drop the 1. 3 numbers to the right of a decimal point. So it goes here. 18.144 is the answer. On bonus number 1, you have to have 2 plus 1 first to get 3, and then go back and do 3 squared to come up with 9. Multiply 9 by 3 to get 27, and then do 4 plus 27 to get 31, subtract 6, and get 25. Example number 3, we're going to practice the least common multiple between two numbers. If I had 4 and 5, and I wanted to find the least common multiple, what I would do is this. List the multiples of 4. So you start with 4 and add 4 to it to get 8. Add 4 to it to get 12. And so on. Do the same thing with 5. Start with 5 and keep adding 5 to it. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You keep going in both lists until you can find something that's in common. What's the lowest number in each list that they both have in common? 20. So if this were a fraction, that's what you would use for the denominator. This one is 3 and 5. The multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and so on. For 5, it's once again 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on. What's the lowest number they both have in common? 15. That's how you find a common denominator when you have fractions. Here's another one. This one is 7 and 6. 7 would be 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. 6 would be 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. What's the lowest number they both have in common? 42. Yeah. Tell me what the least common multiple is for these two numbers. Alright, let's see if 12 is the right answer. 4, 8, 12, and then 6, 12. So yeah, that's it. 12 is the right one. Here's example 4. We want to find the least common multiple between two numbers. And the numbers I'm going to pick will be, we'll make it 6 and 10. 6 and 10. To find the least common multiple, you list the multiples of each number. So for 6, you would start with 6 and then keep adding 6 to it. So 6 plus 6 is 12, and plus 6 is 18, and you would keep going, adding 6 each time. And I may have to skip down here just a row. This is an example. This is an example problem. This is an example. You don't have to bring up the example problems. And here's the 48 and 54 and the 60. So I've listed all the multiples of 6, and then I would do the same thing for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 30 would be the answer. Bring me the least common multiple between 8 and 6. On the practice problem, you should have 8, 16, 24, 32, and for 6, you should have 6, 12, 18, and there it is. The lowest number that they both have in common is 24. On this problem, you do 7 minus 2 first, which is 5. Leave everything else the same. And then 5 squared is 25. Multiply it by 3 to come up with 75. And then you have to do the problem in order from left to right from there. 2 plus 75 is 77. Minus 10 would be 67. On this bonus problem, you should do 7 minus 5 first to get 2. And then keep everything else the same. 2 to the second power means 2 times itself, so that's 4. And then you have to do multiplication before addition, so 9 times 4 is 36. And then once you have all addition and subtraction, you do them in order from left to right, so it should be 3 plus 36 is 39, plus that 4 on the end is 43. On this problem, 7 minus 6 is 1. So you would write a 1 there. 1 to the second power is just 1. And then 9 times 1 is 9. So 4 plus 9 minus 2 is 11. Practice number 4. Find the least common multiple between these two numbers. The numbers are 8 and 12. On the practice problem, you should have 8, 16, 24, and you'll do 12 and 24 and come up with the right answer. On this problem, you have to do 9 minus 7 first, which is 2. So that 2 takes the place of 9 minus 7. Now 2 squared is next. Don't do 6 times 2 yet. 2 squared is 4. And you have to multiply that by 6 next. So 3 plus 24 is 27, minus 11 is 16. You have to do 2 plus 1 first. That is 3. 3 squared is 9. And then you'll leave everything else the same. 3 times 9 is 27. And then you're going to go in order from left to right. That should be a minus sign. 5 plus 27 is 32. Minus 7 is 25. On example 5, the problem is 2 over 3 plus 4 over 5. 2/3 plus 4/5. You cannot add or subtract fractions unless you have the same denominator in each fraction. The denominator is the number on the bottom. So we have to find the least common denominator, which is the least common multiple, what we just did. So between 3 and 5, what would the least common multiple be? 15, yes. Now, if it's 15, you have to adjust the top part of the fractions. What would I multiply 3 by to get a 15? 5, yes. If I multiply 3 by 5, then I have to do the same thing to the top. 2 times 5 is 10. What would I multiply 5 by to get 15? 3. So if I'm multiplying 5 by 3, I've got to multiply this 4 by 3 to get what? 12. So your new set of fractions are 10 over 15 plus 12 over 15. So you add the tops together and get 22 over 15. And just leave it like that. Here's example 6. The problem is 1 over 3 plus 3 over 7. What would my least common multiple be between 3 and 7? Yeah, 21 is right. And if you ever get stuck on these, you have two choices. One is you just multiply them together, or you can write them out like I did before and do 3, 6, 9, and so on until you get to 21 and take your 7s to 21. So if the least common denominator is 21, I have to adjust everything else. What do I multiply 3 by to get 21? 7. Whoops, I'm not multiplying there. I'm multiplying there. 1 times 7 is 7. And what do I multiply 7 by to get 21? 3. So 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So I add the tops together to get 16 over 21. On the practice problem, you should have had a least common denominator of 21. If you're multiplying by 3 here, you do the same on the top to get 18. Multiplying by 7, so you'll have a 14 on top. So that's 32 over 21. Here's how you should do the bonus. 3 squared is 9, plus 2 times 4 is 8, and then minus 5. So that's 17 minus 5, which is 12.